Hello everybody. So before we begin this video, I would just like to say one thing, and that is go vote in the poll above. Igbar's showing the question now, so go vote in the poll above about who I should cover next. Then after that, comment in the comment section below of which character that you guys want me to put in the next poll. Highest 2 characters will win. Make sure you comment, please. And for more information on kind of this whole thing, go watch the last video. It's like 6 minutes long, not that long, so go check it out. With that being said, finally get into the Geno video. That is all. I'll play the intro. Intergeneric. Hey guys, here, welcome back to another episode of Smash Talk, and welcome my friends to the
most non-Halloween video you will ever watch on YouTube, cause that is definitely not what this video was for previously. You're homosexual.
In today's episode, guys, we are going to be talking about a certain character being in Smash, and a character that a lot of people have wanted for a very long time, and that is
iridocyclitis.
What were the keys when he started the car?
Geno. Oh man, Geno, it's time to get to that video. So with all that being said, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Geno and Smash Brothers. So I think we should just get right into it, because oh my god, I have notes on notes on notes on notes about this damn character, man. Frick, man. Luckily, Geno hasn't gotten confirmed or anything as of the making of this video, so yeah, that's cool. I'll be able to get the Geno video out. Without further ado, I present to you, if Geno was in Smash, my thoughts. Actually, hold on. I have to talk about a couple things beforehand.
You tripping!
So for this series in particular, the If Blank Was in Smash My Thoughts series, I'm gonna have it a little structured a little better than when I did K. Rool and Ridley. So how I'm gonna have it structured is I'm gonna have the character of why people are talking about this character. It can be as minuscule as, I want this character in Smash. Me, personally, me. Or it's, oh, his character has a vast history. I'm gonna give a very brief history about the games that the character comes from, and then we're going to be talking about the moveset, and then afterwards talk about aesthetics and stuff, and then after that, that'll be it. So I'm gonna cover a lot more of the series and kind of give my 2 cents about how the characters should be treated, how they should act in Smash Brothers, and kind of just some stats based on the games of how these characters work. So that's kind of my goal during this whole thing. And obviously that requires a butt ton of research. So if you guys are excited, make sure to slap a subscribe, especially this month, because I have a lot of ideas and stuff coming out for you guys very, very soon. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it, guys. So first off, guys, we're going to be starting off with a brief overview of Geno's Smash history and the history of the character in Smash Bros. In general. Is what I would say if I didn't make a whole other video about it that you can check out right here and in the art card above. Sorry, you know. Let me explain. Because it's kind of some weird stuff here and there. Let me start off by saying this isn't going to happen with every single character. The character's Smash history is most likely always going to be in the video where I talk about the moveset. However, for Geno, it was a different case because Geno's Smash history is so much that I made a 20-minute video talking about that. So overall, it was the best play for me to do, especially considering that this video is probably going to be long enough in itself. So it's less things I have to worry about covering. So if you guys want to know the history of Geno and Smash Bros, go check out the icard above. However, in the beginning of the video, I actually did say that if you guys have anything to add or anything that I missed in the Geno video, then comment in the comment section below and I would cover that in this video basically. So yeah, you guys, there's more than I thought. First of all, I want to truly thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. That video did incredibly well. I probably will never get those kinds of views and comments for a very long time. Thank you guys so much for over 100 views on the Geno video. It's insane. Golly, that's like the equivalent of someone with 100,000 subscribers getting like 1 million views on a video. So once again, thank you guys so much for sharing the video, and hopefully we can continue that path in the future. I really do appreciate it. And to show my appreciation once again, I'm going to cover some comments that that you guys put in the comment section. And also, I got a lot more comments than expected. I was really only expecting like one person maybe, and if that, and there was like 3 people who commented some decent information about Geno. Now there was some other stuff about other things like Final Fantasy music, Piranha Plant, stuff like that, but I'm gonna cover that in a different video. Those aren't about Geno himself, so we're gonna save those for another time, I guess. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the comment section of the video. I'm just gonna basically read out the comment and give out my interpretation, and like once again, if I have something to comment on it, I will. So without further ado, let us begin. So I'm gonna start off with this one by Trash1. Me and Trash1 had a bit of a back to back. What? But basically he says, I feel like his chances have increased since this is the last title DLC, making me think that Sakurai got to pick at least one character, but I don't know. All I can do is hope. If it doesn't happen now, it won't happen ever. I wouldn't say that. Maybe at some point in the future, Geno will be in a similar spot where he can be chosen for Smash Bros. I wouldn't say never, but this is one of his best times to get chosen, so I will say that. Then he said, there are so many small signs that I can't help but get excited about. Basically saying there's 2 Super Mario RPG tracks being removed, his Mii costume still hasn't returned. I know it's not much, but it's something to note down, especially that the spirit rule doesn't exist now because of the Cuphead spirit replacing Mega Man of you have the Mii costume. What? So in the comment section below, I actually replied to the comment. I said, that's a good point, first off. And then I said, doesn't feel like everyone is here without Geno. I hope he gets in for everyone who wants him as well, but I don't know, unfortunately. Once again, if you guys want me to elaborate more on that comment, check out the video because I elaborated a lot on that. But basically what he's saying is there are some things that we don't know about Geno being in Smash, such as, once again, we have the whole issue of the tracks. There were 2 tracks deleted. I think I showed one of them in my other video. I might play the other one in this video, I'm not sure. Then of course there is the fact that the Mii costume hasn't come back. That is very interesting there, but honestly, I'm gonna say this right now, I don't think Mii costumes confirm or deconfirm characters as much as a lot of other people do, and the same thing I apply with spirits as well. I do agree that I feel like Geno should get in. Let me reiterate, in that video I said that I don't think he's gonna be in. I never said I don't want him to be in whatsoever. I would love for him to be in so everyone can be happy, all the Geno fans can be happy that he's in the game, but do I think he's going to be in? I'm not sure. Still not sure, but I do want him to get in, so I just want to elaborate on that point before someone gets mad at me. So the next comment actually comes from a person, a regular on this channel, the homie Obese Rob. I'm saving the best for last. Obese Rob says, an interesting thing to note, there have been multiple polls Sakurai held for who to add in Japan. We got results for 2 of them. Geno got 5 total votes in the one for Brawl. The highest voted character, I believe, got 4 times that, being Mega Man. I think he's talking about there's one for Melee, I believe. I think that's something. I'm not 100% sure. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's either Melee or Brawl. I believe it's Melee because I do remember Sakurai did a poll back in Melee about like what characters that they want. And I know Ganondorf ranked high on that one, if I remember correctly. But anyway, and for the If There Was Smash 2 poll, I believe he got 1 vote with the highest voted character being Ganon. Oh, okay. That's exactly what I was talking about. Dope. Sick. So it means Geno is not very requested in Japan. So that's also an interesting perspective. I don't really see a lot of people in Japan wanting Geno either. I'm not sure. I guess Geno is more of a Western thing, but Sakurai has shown that we can't use that argument really, to be honest, because at this point Sakurai is trying to cater to both audiences. Obviously he's favoring the Japanese audience, but we can't count the fact that he put in Dark Samus as well as characters like King K. Rool and characters like Banjo, who are mostly requested in the West, not really in Japan. So he's trying to cater to everyone around the world. So I wouldn't count that as too much of a decline to his character being in Smash Bros. But I see your point 100%. I do see your point. Finally, there was the homie Hudyu. Thank you so much for commenting this. I just want to say he typed in a whole essay, and I will read the whole thing, I promise. But I just want to say thank you so much for commenting this. You did not have to do all of that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Hudyu said, as a Geno fan, this is overall a decent video. Well done. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. In regards to the history aspect, though, you missed a bit of Melee history, and that fans have requested him since Melee, because a lot of people at that time still considered him to be a Nintendo character, because he was only 5 years old at that point. There's a bit more to it, but I'll leave it off there. I may include what he's talking about somewhere else, I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. So in regards to future DLC, I don't think relevancy is part of the issue, and that really shouldn't control base game versus DLC. It's more so about how much the character would sell, and I know you state that Banjo is the link between Microsoft and Nintendo, but couldn't that argument be used for Geno as well? Sure, they added Cloud in Smash 4 and here on Ultimate, but Geno is a character owned by both companies, similar to how Banjo used to be with Nintendo and Rare. Nintendo used to own a good portion of Rare, I believe it was like 48% of the company, something like that, making him partially a Nintendo character. And plus, a big part of Ultimate were the fan requests, including Banjo. So why wouldn't they include fan requests for the second pass to keep people buying? That is a good point. I'm sure Nintendo think about that when they're going to Sakurai to propose characters. Obviously, fan requests are a thing. I don't know. I'm not part of Nintendo. I can't really say that. I just personally think that from a business standpoint, they would focus more on like connections. Like, for example, Byleth is part of Fire Emblem Three Houses. So if we add Byleth in Smash Bros, that will get Byleth's name out there, and then people will buy Fire Emblem Three Houses. Then both games will get more sales and they'll get more money that way. I just assume it's something like that. Maybe they do think of the fan requests and prioritize that over anything else. Obviously, you want to have a balance between the two, and that's what I meant with Geno, where Geno doesn't have anything coming out yet at all, and I don't know. Once again, if this was Sakurai proposing the roster, that would make a lot more sense, and I wouldn't have any problem with that. But once again, I don't know how Nintendo thinks as a company. I don't know who specifically is deciding these characters. Are they higher ups? Are they people? Are they in like a big ass group of people and talking about it? We don't know. So that's more of a thing where we just have to chalk that up to your perception on the whole thing, and we just have two different perceptions, and that's perfectly fine. I see your point, but I also think that in a way, when you're a business, you have to think of more the business side of things and prioritize that a little bit more over the fan requests, though I'm not saying that you completely count the fan requests out. So once again, I'm just saying. I don't know, just my opinions and thoughts. Let's be honest though, the DLC has no themes whatsoever when it comes to characters added. That is a damn fact. Some fan requests, some new franchises, some first party, some third, there really isn't a theme. That's exactly what it is. It's literally just a mix of different characters from fan requests to, they get a little bit of everything in the roster. So it makes a lot of sense to why that character gets in. Like I said, with Fighter Pass 1, you got Banjo, who's like a fan request. You got Byleth, who was more like a business side of things that would work more for that. You had Joker, who was also more for that because Persona 5 Scramble, and it was promoted for Persona 5 Royal as well. Hero promoting Dragon Quest 11, but on top of that, it was also a highly requested character in Japan, and people were excited for that. So they get a little bit of everything. I'm sure that for this DLC pack, they'll do the same thing. Makes sense there. In regards to leaks, you showed the Kakodemon Mallow Mii costume leak for a split second, and along with this, the leak Miis for Banjo, the music takedowns, and the timing of DLC 2 is a huge part on why I think he'll be playable in DLC 2. And Nintendo clearly knows fans want him. Oh yeah, they do. I'm saying this because they added the Mii costume, and a group called Operation Starfall sent a letter to Nintendo talking about Geno and all the fan letters and everything, and they responded knowingly stating they know he's a big fan request. Either way, good luck on the upcoming Geno video, and I wish you the best. Well, Hudyu, thank you so much. Once again, I appreciate all the information. I actually didn't know about the Operation Starfall thing, so that's actually really interesting as well. So there you go. That's another bit of Geno trivia there. And about the leak, I'll probably do a separate video talking about that leak, because once again, that's a leak that won't really help us justify the character and stuff of the history of the character. So I'll definitely reference that, and I will take that and I'll put that in my notes of videos to make. I'll make that its own video, okay? I promise. Got you. Alright guys, and that is pretty much it. Those are the three best comments I got when it came to wanting Geno. Everything else were great comments, but they talked about other stuff that didn't really go towards talking about Geno. So once again, I'm keeping it Geno centric this video. So those were all the comments I got. Thank you guys so much for your input once again. I hope I make you guys proud with this Geno video that I did a lot of research on and whatnot. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get right into the history of Super Mario RPG, the one game that Geno was in. So for being such a wanted character in Smash Bros, aside from minor appearances and cameos, honestly, Geno's only really relevant in this, like, you know, this is a tiny game called Super Mario RPG. I don't know if you heard of it. It was like the Paper Mario before Paper Mario was a thing, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's pretty good. Boy, if you don't get... This was a game that came out all the way back in the year 1996. It was published and developed by both Nintendo and Square Enix. And the reason for this was actually because of Square Enix's expertise on making a good RPG game. Dragon Quest Final Fantasy. What? Don't look at me like that. Come on. Alright, fine. If you don't believe me, then you can believe Yoshio Hongo. Why would you want to believe someone called Yoshio Hongo over someone named BlazinBacon? Square's RPGs sold well in Japan but not overseas. There have been calls from all ages and for young girls for another character to which they could become attached. Mario was the best option but had not been in an RPG. Nintendo's director, Mr. Miyamoto, also wanted to do an RPG using Mario. There happened to be a chance for both companies to talk, which went well. So basically it was kind of like an alignment of the stars for this whole project to come up. At the time, of course, Nintendo were more experimental with Mario, what they want to do with Mario, so they wanted to feature him in an RPG and so that worked. So they decided to team up with Square because Square Enix at the time was known for making really good RPGs. They still are known for making really good RPGs and probably one of the best JRPG/RPG people to work with when it comes to that. So as you can see, there was mutual benefit for both parties. So there really was no reason for them not to do this. I mean, Nintendo gets to make a product that's unique and interesting, and then Square Enix gets those nice and powerful clout coins. You get it? Because, like, you know, Mario, when he hits the block, he has clout. Another thing about the game itself was that it introduced something different to the RPG genre at the time, which was the whole timing mechanic of moves. At the time, no other RPG really did this. It was more turn-based. You wait your turn for the enemy to attack. There wasn't really an incentive for you to do anything mid-animation. However, in this game, to do as much damage as you can, you have to time your moves. So that requires you to do something in the middle of the animation, which is normally not really a thing for games at the time, like Dragon Quest or Pokemon or something like that. It was like completely different at the time. So I think that was really cool to add to the game and put that little Nintendo flair, that dash of uniqueness to it. I don't freaking. Overall, the game got positive reviews and received very well among the fans of the series. Japanese fans ate it up, of course, with a clean 1.47 million copies sold, which is outrageous, mate. And even the bloody Americans exceeded Nintendo's expectations. So Nintendo's expectations for how many units they were going to sell in America was 500,000 copies, right? In the middle of May of 1996, the company shipped 300,000 units to retailers. However, in only 1 month on the store shelves, Nintendo estimated that they sold about 200,000 units on the shelves. So that led it to be a pretty successful game, if I do say so myself. The people who played it, you guys already know, really love the game. And ultimately, with this popularity of Super Mario RPG, it sold so much so, in fact, that plans for Super Mario RPG 2 came out later on, which ended up being Paper Mario. Paper Mario ultimately spawned another series of games, the Mario and Luigi series. So yeah, I mean, little to say, that Super Mario RPG was very influential towards the Mario series and created a whole new genre of Mario games, Mario in the RPG universe, with, once again, Paper Mario, which, you know, we may do a video about one of these days, and the Mario and Luigi games as well. It shows the influence over the game and shows why the game should be represented in Smash in some way, shape, or form. Enter Geno. So as you guys know, in Super Mario RPG, like every RPG that's good, the main character, Mario, Jumpman Mario, has his own type of team. He has his own partners, his own squadron, his party. He has his own party. So along with Peach and Bowser, if this isn't the first game, it's one of the first games where Mario and Bowser actually work together against a whole different enemy. But there was also 2 other party members that was made by Square Enix as well, which were Mallow, which was like this cloud gum thing, I don't know, and Geno. Okay, and now I'm going to give you guys the Spark Notes version on what occurred during those days in Super Mario RPG and how the group met Geno for the first time. So first, the grown-ass Italian man takes a break into a random little kid's room in a random town. You see the kid playing with toys and Mario characters and his one Goodwill gift that he got from his granny. The kid then takes a toy and then shoots Mario's ball sack. No, I am not kidding. They then take a break into their house to rest up. A star named, Bob breaks into the house and takes over the doll. Doll leaves into the forest. Kid has the big sad. Mario and Mallow go into the forest to look for him. Enter 6ix9ine as a Twizzler throwing arrows at the town for no reason. Geno then goes to stop him, but then he gets his ass beat because he's not used to using his body whatsoever. Mario then saves him. They then join forces to beat 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine sucks. And then the kid says goodbye to the doll as the doll joins us on our journey. Yay! Yay! Woo, 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 football! And there you have it. So with that brief history of Super Mario RPG, let's go ahead and get into a moveset on him. Let's go ahead and do that because that's what we do. So yeah. So before we get into the moveset, I just want to say that there has been a lot of Geno moveset videos out there because Geno's been a popular character for a while now. Specifically, there's a video that I've been probably showing throughout a lot of the time of Project M's own interpretation of Geno in Smash. And I actually like a couple of the moves that they had in that video. And something that I really can't keep up with, especially for like the aerials and the dash attack and stuff. So for those attacks, I'm going to be referencing some of those attacks. I apologize that not all of my ideas are going to be completely original, but I did do my very best to make sure the moves that I do say, I'm not copying it word for word completely from a Project M Geno perspective. So starting off with a jab, I think it'd be either a generic 3-hit combo or maybe something where he shoots his pellets out of his hand. Kind of similar to how Mega Man does his whole shtick with like the pellets and stuff. Maybe not like jumping around with it, having just the jab itself being like a pellet attack like how he does in Super Mario RPG. I think that would be pretty cool. I think Project M dash attack where he dashes forward with like the arrow showing, but like one arrow is pointing to the way he's dashing is such an amazing touch that I love so much. I want to keep that dash attack as one of his attacks. So now going over his tilt attacks. Forward tilt, I can actually see something akin to me Gunner's forward tilt working nicely. Basically shooting out a short range but strong beam attack. Essentially a less drastic version of the Geno beam. For a down tilt, I can see Geno taking off his arm limb to slap the ground. To reflect not only the fact that he's a doll and can do things like that, but also since there is a short time period of Geno inhabiting his new body, I would imagine Geno having to do things like this due to the lack of mobility that he has since he's not used to his new body yet. For an up tilt, I can see him doing kind of a mini uppercut, similar to the animation here where he blocks the Kamek's fire attack, but the weapon that this is a reference to is the head cannon, which is an item that is basically like an elbow gun. So at the same time, a bullet would fire. If Geno does miss the attack of his stiffness, he's able to shoot out a bullet that hits the opponent, so it's not completely a punishable move. However, the move would last for a while to represent him getting used to his body. However, I think on top of getting used to his new body, he's finding chips and tricks to be able to hit opponents still and keep up with the rest of the pack, which would also reflect Geno being smart on the battlefield, which since he is a star warrior after all, I would imagine that he would have some sort of intelligence when it comes to hitting opponents and doing those sort of, so he's able to think outside the box with the attacks and opponents. So now we go on to the smash attacks. So this brings us into Geno's gimmick, which I will now go over now. Beautiful. So I'm sure you guys know the traditional ways of charging a smash attack. You could hold the joystick and A at the same time, you could flick the C stick, or for all you puppy spitters and arsonists out there, you can press the A and B buttons at the same time. Well, I think it'd be cool to represent the 3 ways of charging an attack in Super Mario RPG by having your smash attack in different ways, basically giving you 2 options to what attack you want to do. This would mean that Geno has, count 'em,
let's find out. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6. Damn, Mr. Owl, can you be any more slower? Man, get back. Whack-ass owl from Winnie the Pooh. Why are you even white, bro? Aren't you supposed to be stalking enemies at nighttime? How the hell are you gonna stalk enemies? They can see you glowing in the background. Whack-ass owl. Stupid ass. So in Super Mario RPG, the 3 ways to power up a handful of the special moves are basically as follows. You hit A repeatedly, you rotate the control pad, or you hold Y for power. Those are like the 3 ways in Super Mario RPG that you're usually able to get a stronger variant of an attack off to do more damage to your opponent. To give kind of a visual to what this is kind of similar to, I guess the best example is if you look at Ryu's special moves that have a stronger variant if you do a certain button combination. Except for instead of specials, it's smash attack. So just think of it like that. Also, I want to give a quick disclaimer to all the smartasses out there. The moves I map these buttons to aren't exactly how they work in the game, since this only applies to the special moves. But 1, the point is to showcase that doing this gives the move more power using the method, and 2, it wouldn't work for the special moves since they're only one variant of the move in the game, so I can't really map it to any. And y'all already know the specials are going to be in the neutrals and stuff. I don't have to talk about that, but yeah. Okay, smartasses? Alright, you can cut the comments about, "Oh, sir, I think you're missing the whole point here. Did you know in Super Mario RPG, when you throw it in attack..." Yes, I know, bro. Golly, you treat me like a dumbass. Just relax, man. Enjoy the video for once. Golly. By the way, these attacks don't have really any drawbacks to them because you already have to do a certain requirement in order to access them in the first place. So I think it'd be fair not to give them any drawbacks and give them the same amount of end lag, startup lag that the normal attacks would have. Just a more powerful variant of them. So with that being said, let's start off with the side smash. For the side smash, I would imagine Geno does the attack that you normally do in Super Mario RPG when you just do a regular attack with no item equipped, if I'm not mistaken, which is basically Geno launching his hand forward similar to his animation of his regular attack. The upgraded variant of this attack is going to be utilizing the item, the double punch attack, which in Super Mario RPG has Geno throwing both his hands out at the same time to hit the opponent. It would do way more damage. In order to access the double punch, you have to hold Y for power, so you just have to hold the button in order to access the move, then it will do the move for you. For the up smash, after charging, Geno transforms into a full-on cannon like he does with, if I'm not mistaken, the Geno Flash overall moveset. So after charging, Geno transforms into a full-on cannon and launches a blast of fire in the air. I guess if you want to compare it to anybody's up smash, I guess a good comparison is to Rob's up smash, and similar to Rob's up smash, Geno would have 2 hitboxes, one where he transforms and slams kind of the cannon in the ground similar to Rob's that'll prop the fighter up, and then he launches them upwards. I guess this would also be a pretty damn good kill throw. I would imagine anything where he transforms into the cannon would be a good kill move. So the upgraded variant of Geno's up smash is Geno's cannon, but instead of it being just a regular explosion as it would be if you just charge it with the C stick normally, it would instead be the explosion with a face. Similar to, if you guys know the move Geno Flash, the special move that Geno uses in that regard, you know the face that shoots out with that? Yeah, that's the move that he would use. And before you ask, yes, the face does make it stronger. To utilize this move, you have to hit A repeatedly, so that's the requirement in order for you to access that variant of the up smash. Finally, for the down smash, I think a cool way is to introduce the handgun, which is basically another item you can get in Super Mario. For the down smash would basically be the animation in Super Mario RPG, but faster. So it would be this, but faster variant of it. And finally, for the stronger variant of the attack, would use the star gun attack, which is a gun that Geno gets, I think later in the game, I think in Bowser's Castle or something along those lines, where he has 2 guns out and then he fires stars through it. To utilize this move, you have to rotate the control pad in order for you to get the move. Once again, these moves are stronger and have no drawback in general. The only drawback is actually accessing the move by doing the appropriate action. Now moving on to his grabs and throws. For his grab attack, I didn't know whether I wanted to maybe have him have a ranged grab where he shoots his hand forward to grab the opponent, or maybe you just have him grab and then he takes his arm off to pummel the opponent, something like that, I guess. For forward throw, I can see Geno transforming into a cannon and then launching the opponent forward. I would imagine this would also be a good kill throw for Geno as well, since once again, like I said, any attack where he transforms into a cannon make a lot of sense for him to kill with it. It's a mother flipping cannon, bro. Like how So for this up throw, it's kind of complicated, but hopefully I'm gonna explain it well here. So Geno detaches his hand, right? Then he puts his hand to the ground and then launches quickly upward in a balled up fist as he's throwing his opponent under the fist, so that way it hits upwards, kind of like a rocket in a way. For the down throw, I would say something akin to Mario's down throw, where he just throws the opponent on the ground. Something simple and easy. For a back throw, I think it would also be cool to imitate Mario's back throw, but instead of Mario twisting his whole body away, you you could make it stylistically look cool and make Geno only twist his top half while his bottom half is built in place. So that way, as he's throwing the opponent, he's not only twisting faster, but then he throws his opponent and it does a lot more damage. Just subtly, but a little bit stronger than Mario's back throw. I think that would be really cool. So now we move on to the aerial. So for his forward air, I actually like the forward air they gave him in Project M, where he takes out a cannon out and then he blasts his opponent forward. So we'll just use that for right now. For a back air, I can see him doing a simple kick backwards, probably similar to Mario's back air. I can see that. For a down air, I can see him turning his arms into a cannon and firing it downwards, similar to Me Gunner's down air, I guess. For an up air, I actually like Project M's up air, where he takes his arm and then flings it upwards as well to have as much reach as he can. So we'll just use that as well. Golly, man, Project M has such cool design. Damn you, Project M. Damn you. For a neutral air, I can see him mimicking Mario's neutral air, which is the sex kick that he has. Now, before we get to the neutrals, I want to bring up a mechanic. So now I'll let you guys on a little secret here. The specials have a special thing to them too, just like the smash attacks, except it's not really like the smash attacks. It has a totally different thing that in Super Mario RPG that will be represented in this one. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Yeah. So like I said back when we talked about the history of Super Mario RPG, there's another mechanic that was introduced that differentiated the game from others. And I think it would be a crime to not implement this into his moveset somehow, some way. And I thought the specials would probably be the best and easiest way to implement this mechanic. And that is the timing mechanic. This won't be throughout Geno's moveset, but if you time the move correctly when it hits the opponent, there will be a noticeable increase in both damage and knockback at the same time. Timing is key with the special move, and it will determine whether that special move will kill or not as well. And with that, if you time your move, it will have a much more successful rate of killing and will do a lot more damage than if you don't time it and you just throw it out. This is to kind of give the player incentive to utilize a way of doing that. The different specials that Geno has, he actually has 5, so it's like perfect for all his specials and even a final smash to boot. So to start off, let's start off with the neutral B. I think it's pretty obvious this will be the Geno beam. How it will translate into smash is probably similar to how Byleth's neutral special works, where you have to hold it and release it. However, depending on how long you hold it for is how long the beam will go and how strong the beam will go. So if you just hold it for a bit, it may do like a little spritz, about the same range as Me Gunner's forward tilt or something like that. But as you keep charging it, the hitbox will last farther, the move will be stronger. So I think that would be kind of cool. I know I said originally that a lot of people want to be like Samus's moveset maybe, but I think having it to be similar to Byleth's moveset would equal for better balance, basically. And maybe similar to Mega Man's neutral B, which is, you know, his metal blades, he's able to aim the beam in 8 different directions. I don't know about that one, but just throwing it out there. So for his side special, I would say is the Geno World. Now this goes more into timing than really using it to kind of charge or throw out smash attack and such. But the Geno World is interesting because in Super Mario RPG, if you do time it right, it does 9. Now obviously that's a little extreme, just a teensy bit. So we're just gonna knob it down to, I would say, broken percent. So let's say about 20 to 30% if you do time it right. However, in return, the timing for it is strict, and similar to Incineroar, if you don't time it right, it will do way less percent than a normal side B would normally. Basically, I would say around like 5%, like literally nothing. However, if you are able to time it, it will not only do a lot of knockback, it is a kill move, but on top of that, it will do tons of buku amounts of damage if you do time it right. And I think to make it harder, I think if you hit it towards the ground, you're able to, it bounces off the floor, so that way it's a little harder to control, and only a master about this can time it correctly, if you know what I mean. Now, another option for the side specials is actually the Geno Blast. Now, the Geno Blast would be weird to have a move that works out like that. When you use the move, he does the gesture and the beam just comes flying out just for a little bit and does a little bit of damage towards the opponent. I guess if you want to compare to anything, I guess something similar to Palutena's up smash, where she like launches the light. However, instead of her signaling up, Geno would signal down. So I guess it'd be something like that. Maybe it will be farther reach. I don't know. It is what it is. So the up B, I will say, is Geno Flash. So in which case we go to Project M's version of the Geno Flash, which is basically him transforming into a cannon and then firing himself up to the ledge. Now, before you ask, I don't know, and don't ask, all right? He just is able to do it, bro. Don't ask about it. It is what it is. Relax, okay, bro? Relax. The Geno Flash, as you can see represented here, he will go in a cannon and then launch himself up, basically utilizing it similar to the cannon item in Super Smash Bros. In general. So yeah. And if he hits you, it will ooh, you're gonna have to be careful there, buddy boy.
I like turtles.
Maybe you can stall in the air and aim it to where you're gonna hit for a little while, perhaps. For the down special, of course, I'm talking about Geno Boost. When using the move, you can choose to power it up on yourself, raising both your attack and defense for a short amount of time. And similar to Hero's Oomph, you can also use it on your teammates to power them up for a little bit. And what I think would be really cool is that if you used it and Geno Boost would activate, you have a short amount of time to move like a cursor over. I don't know how this is gonna work, but move a cursor over and then press who you want to use it on if you're in a team battle. Or hell, you know what, maybe if you do it in a single match and you want to power up your opponent, sure, no, I'm just joking. That's probably not gonna be the case. You use it on yourself and then you have to confirm attack, and then Geno does the animation where he boosts his attack and defense. So it'd be one of those moves where after you kill an opponent, you just fire it up for a bit and do what you must there. His final smash is Geno Blast, probably mashing X to attack as a reference to Super Mario RPG. It basically works very close to the original animation in Super Mario RPG, where he throws like a beam in the air and launches downwards on you. I guess if I had to compare it to anything, it would be somewhat similar to if you guys remember Pit's 3 Sacred Treasure final smash in Smash 4, his final smash there had the final bit of that attack where he like raises his arm up and then like a bunch of beams flash all over. That would be Geno's final smash. We'll do that. So that, yeah, that's his final smash. Another option for the final smash that I would say is what I call the Super Geno Flash, which is basically Project M's attack where Geno launches the cannon, shoots out the fireball, and then implodes on itself very slowly. I guess to compare it to anything, it'd just be a gigantic version of the Star Fox item that you use to blow up, and then you know how it like implodes and it like explodes in itself and it grows and grows and grows, and then it just explodes and launches the opponent. It would basically be that, but a much more drastic version of that. So I think that would be pretty cool. And then it would end off, of course, with the face doing like So with that being said, that is every single one of his moveset, ladies and gentlemen. But hold on, we are not done yet. There's some other things I want to look at, and yes, guys, we are going the whole 9 yards with this, so I'm talking about everything. So let's start off with taunts. Let's go over to the good stuff, the aesthetics. So for starters, for his first taunt, one thing I would think would be cool for a first taunt is if he looks forwards and then nods, similar to the animation he does a lot in Super Mario RPG. I just think that'd be a cool reference. For a second taunt, maybe doing something with his gun, something similar to like Me Gunner's taunt, or maybe he's like loading up bullets or something as a taunt or something like that. And then taunt 3, just him laughing. Yep, just laughing in your face because you're trash. You're trash, and nobody likes you. Not in this game. Nobody likes you. Not even your main doesn't like you. You're trash. Human filth. Anyways, moving on. For an entrance animation, I have two ideas. Now first, we could do the obvious one where he just appears out of nowhere, he jumps, he's like, yeah, Geno time. But I'm kind of sick and tired of characters just appearing out of nowhere. Like, Shulk, where the hell are you dropping from? For the option that I would prefer, I would say that Geno starts off as the immobile state until the star enters his body, similar to when the star entered his body in Super Mario RPG. And I believe this was actually replicated in Project M or Super Mario Bros. Legacy. I forget which one, but that's the animation in that game as well. For his idle animation, I've come up with 3 ideas for an idle animation. So for the idle animation 1, basically Geno deattaches his hand and then retwists it back, so reattaching it. For an idle animation 2, I actually think what would be cool if Geno scratched his head as he slightly lifts his cap up, basically referencing when Geno uses an item in Super Mario RPG in battle. He lifts up his cap and then he heals there. For a third island animation? Okay. For a third idle animation, I would say Geno losing his balance a bit, then rebalances himself afterwards, once again getting accustomed to his new body. I think that would be cool. For victory fanfare, I think the victory theme whenever you beat an enemy in Super Mario RPG would suffice. I guess on top of that, since he's mostly connected to the forest theme, I guess one thing that would be cool is, bear with me here. Da 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 dun 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 dun. or something like that. And now it's time to talk about some victory poses here. So for victory pose 1, probably a simple animation of Geno crossing his arms and then nodding as the camera pans towards his face and he's like, Geno! So this one is the one that I think would be really cool. Basically, Geno launches his hand, and then before the announcer says Geno, his hand goes in front of the camera and does like a quick thumbs up, and then it goes back to his hand, and then he like poses. I think that would be really cool if he did that. I don't know. And for victory pose 3, I think it would be so cool if Geno did one where, you guys obviously know I have to bring the boy Mallow in, so why not do one where he poses with Mallow as well, just to have a reference in there, similar to how Robin in Smash 4, one of their victory animations was them bringing Chrom in. I think it'd just be cool to show off Mallow. You know, Mallow, chunky Cloud Man exists too, you know what I'm saying? Oh god. So this is where we get into kind of the uniqueness of Geno and kind of why he reflects the way he is. So Geno in general is going to obviously represent Super Mario RPG. No one is more recommended in that game more than Geno. I think a cool aspect of Super Mario RPG that we mentioned before in the history of Super Mario RPG and why the game was noticeable among its peers, something it did different was the fact that it did the whole timing mechanic, and the whole mechanic where you can deflect attacks and you can time attacks in order to get the most damage that you possibly can. I think Geno, with the moves that he has, will represent that in a way to make the player think more. Once again, kind of simulating that same drive that the Mario team, what they wanted for Super Mario RPG, where it's not just, so you do an attack and then you just turn your brain off as you're charging and then you just in mid animation or whatever.
Fun.
Which is why I made it to where his smash attacks, you would have to do a certain command before doing the attack to get the most amount of damage that you possibly can. Once again, simulating Super Mario RPG and how its battle system works. Another thing, once again, is timing. I think this will fit Geno's personality in general, because Geno as a character, once again, he's a Star Warrior. He's used to the battlefield, and once again, he finds different tricks to kind of get out sticky situations. Geno obviously is at a bigger disadvantage than a lot of the characters here, because he is a star spirit inhabiting and using a body to attack an opponent. So with that being said, Geno is able to use his limbs in various ways, that way he doesn't get hit. Once again, his up tilt, it's a stiff animation, it'll last a while, but the elbow attack will also have a bullet fire that will hit the opponent if you're in front of him. You can't just wait for his animation to stop and then grab him and then do damage. It puts a layer of thinking on top of the battlefield, and I think there are different ways you can do that with his other attacks that maybe I'm not really finding out. Maybe on some of his attacks have him launch bullets far away so that opponents have him, like his down smash or something. But I think once again that would simulate Geno's intelligence on the battlefield, I think, because Geno is probably one of the more intelligent characters on Super Mario RPG. And then on top of that, it would also represent the game itself. Super Mario RPG having a layer of complexity to the game. And once again, I think it would obviously simulate his stats. He would be a glass cannon, because in Super Mario RPG he lacks in HP but is also known for having a very high attack. It's just your job once again is not to get hit. I think that also would reflect the fact that he's a doll and the fact that he's trying to get used to his new body, and I think that would reflect in the player trying to get used to his character and such. Overall, it would just reflect well into his overall style of fighting. That is it. That is Geno's moveset. It's how he kind of correlates. Obviously Sakurai finds a more deep reason to why the character plays how they play a lot of the time, and I think the reason for Geno is once again to simulate why Super Mario RPG was the way it was and what it did differently from its other peer groups. Alright, we are done. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was long, but thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope I made you guys proud with this video. Once again, I covered the whole 9 yards with Geno, so I don't think we need to make another Geno-centric video ever again. So before I, cue the outro and whatnot, I just want to say, once again, to remind you guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see more of this on your plate. Also, if you guys want to vote for the next character, if you guys want, go in the iCard section above and vote for who the next character I should cover should be in the poll in the iCard above. Also, finally, tell me what character you want me to cover by either commenting down in the comments on what character you want, or liking another person's comment of a character that you want me to cover. The highest two will be in the next poll. For more information, go check out the very last video that I did talking about this whole thing. It's called it's like a public service announcement video. That is all. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this episode and want to see what else is on the grill, you guys check out this whole playlist in the description below. Also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want more Smash talk on your plate. I will be back next week with another video for you guys. And with all that being said, you can put your spatulas down now, but keep it sizzling, my Baconators. Peace.